What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Wrestling City. As always, I am your mayor, Taylor, and this is your Friday night SmackDown review for December 5th, 2025. Thank you guys for joining me here tonight or today, whenever you're watching this. But SmackDown, um, it was an okay show. It was an okay show. SmackDown, for the most part, has been okay. For the majority, it's been bad. Like, really bad. Tonight, there were a few things I enjoyed. There were a few things I did not enjoy. Um, so let's start off with the big thing that happened tonight. Tonight, we found out who John Cena will be going against in his final match on December 13th at Saturday night's main event. And it should come to no surprise to any of you that that opponent is Gunther. He defeated LA Knight tonight. So it is now official on December 13th, Saturday night's main event, live in Washington, D.C. John Cena will have his final match against the Ring General Gunther. And it's crazy to me that. So this was a match at the beginning of this year. This was a match that I and quite a few people in the internet wrestling community or wrestling fans wanted to see. This is a match that a lot of people really wanted to see. When the year started and you had all these people list off their opponents on who they wanted to see John Cena face, Gunther was in a majority of those lists. And now it seems like fans don't want to see that match anymore. And my thing is with that, yes, we could have got this match in another way where it didn't have to be John Cena's final match, because I get that a lot of people, they wanted John Cena's final match to be against a younger guy, someone that would really benefit. Excuse me, that would really benefit from a match against John Cena. John Cena's final match at that. The names were thrown around where you had guys like Carmelo Hayes, his name was thrown around. Braun Breaker, his name was also thrown around. And then you also had guys like Randy Orton, CM Punk, or Edge, which wasn't going to happen, AJ Styles. So, but I'm perfectly fine with it being Gunther. I think Gunther is he's probably the perfect choice, in my opinion, to dethrone, or not dethrone, but be the last opponent for John Cena. That's just my opinion. I mean, you guys let me know in the comments down below who you would have liked to see. Are you guys still interested in this match? Because I am. And the reason why is because you look at John Cena's career, he made a name of uh, for himself battling guys like Gunther. Gunther reminds me of people like, Brock Lesnar, Umaga, Big Show, Great Khali, guys that were bigger than Cena. Cena had to go into that match. He had to fight. He had really had to dig down deep, and that also gives a perfect opportunity for the crowd to really get involved, really get behind Cena. Cena thrived when he was going up against a really, I guess you could say, a large opponent. Tall, and he's foreign. Rusev, he had a feud with Rusev. Rusev was what he was, like that foreign villain. So I am perfectly fine with them doing Gunther versus John Cena, and the match is going to be good. Hell, if people have got to start putting respect on Gunther's name. I don't get how people can come out here and say that he is a boring wrestler. Yes, he may not do all those gymnastic moves. He doesn't have to. That's not who Gunther is. And yet he can still put on a great match. That's all he does is put on great matches. Gunther does not have a bad match. Hell, he just gave Solo Sikoa his best match of his career on Monday Night Raw this week. And you already know Cena's going to go out there and give us one final classic before he hangs it up. No, I don't think this is going to be anything like it was against Brock Lesnar from SummerSlam 2014 or WrestlePalooza this year. It's not going to be anything like that. I think Cena's going to go in there. He's going to put up a fight. And, I mean, I might wait and I think I'm just going to wait and do my predictions because I'm going to be doing the predictions for that show. So, yeah, I'll just wait before I give my prediction on that. But yes, I'm really looking forward to that match though. I really am. It's going to be a great match. So, and to all you LA Knight fans out there, if any of you guys are watching this, I'm sorry, but you should have known going into this match that it just wasn't going to happen. And before the match, I told myself like I'd be perfectly fine if LA Knight did win tonight. The way he's been booked so far this year, he would really benefit from it. But same thing that always happens with him. He goes into these big matches and he just comes up short. So don't worry, LA Knight fans. It's going to be okay. I promise. It's going to be okay. But that's not the only thing that we got announced for that Saturday night's main event show. So Cody Rhodes. So NXT has a show tomorrow. NXT Deadline. It's their premium live event taking place tomorrow night. I will not be able to watch it. I honestly didn't even realize it was tomorrow night. I won't be able to watch it. I will be in Atlanta for the STC Championship game to watch Georgia versus Alabama. So won't be able to catch that. I might catch up on it sometime Sunday afternoon. But it'll be Ricky Saints. He's defending his NXT Championship against Obafemi, and the winner of that match will not just be NXT champion, but they will also challenge Cody Rhodes at Saturday night's main event. So we're already off to a good start for that show. John Cena versus Gunther, and then you've got Ricky Saints or Obafemi versus Cody Rhodes. I'd be fine with either of those matches. I do think Ricky Saints will retain tomorrow. I mean, he just won the title, and then I also think it's time for Obafemi to get caught up. I hope either way we still see Obafemi on that show. Um, so all right, let's get into this show now. Let's go ahead and get into this show real quick. I won't go over everything in great detail because I'll just go over the stuff that I actually watched and paid attention to and enjoyed and give my thoughts on it. So we kicked off the show tonight with Drew McIntyre was there. He pulled up in his truck. And he met Nick Aldis and a couple of security guards at the loading dock. Let's see here. McIntyre claims that Paul Heyman told him that if he won a Survivor Series, he'd be unsuspended. But Nick says suspended is suspended. Drew says he'll leave for the sake of the security guards who have families to go home to. But when he gets in the car, Cody Rhodes is already in the passenger seat, and he starts going off on Drew McIntyre. Cody attacks him. He's scraping and clawing until the security guards manage to pull him out, and then Drew slams on the gas and gets out of there in an instant. And then Nick Aldis is there. He's trying to calm Cody Rhodes down. Cody Rhodes walks off, and then the cameraman follows Cody Rhodes from that spot all the way down to the ring in one singular shot. So he gets on the mic and demands Nick Aldis to reinstate Drew McIntyre. He says Drew violated an unspoken rule of the road by attacking him in his bus where his wife sleeps and his child play, and he calls him WWE's resident cockroach. Now, when he started off that word cockroach, I thought he was going somewhere else, but we didn't get the LDS line that I thought we were going to get something similar to that, honestly. But he called him a resident cockroach. And he says what happened just now will keep happening and might be in a parking lot, in a church, at Drew's house, on the coast of California, all over the Lone Star State, because they were in Dallas, Texas tonight, or Austin, Texas, I believe. He says McIntyre never even beat him, but he's the one man who's broken him. So he begs Nick to reinstate him so he can do the one thing everyone does when they see a cockroach, stomp him out, and he throws the mic down, and that was that. So it does look like we will be getting Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre once again. I'm fine with that. Um, Obviously, I think they're gonna have a stipulation of some sort. Um, but I mean, do you have Drew McIntyre at this point beat Cody Rhodes for the title, even if it's just for a couple weeks or a month or two? I guess it all depends when they do this match. They could save this match for a episode of SmackDown, or I mean, the next PLE is Royal Rumble. I wouldn't I wouldn't call Saturday night's main event a PLE, and you can't do the match then because it's going to be NXT versus main roster, and Cody Rhodes has already challenged the winner of Obafemi versus Ricky Saints. So, and I don't think they're going to wait until the end of January, late February to run this match back. So I can very well seeing it happening on. It may happen on the first episode of SmackDown. That's when I think they'll do that match because they're doing on the first Raw of 2026. They're doing CM Punk versus Braun Breaker. So for that first SmackDown on in 2026, they might want to have their own championship match, and then they'll do Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. But hopefully by that point, Randy Orton somewhere here because I swear Randy Orton was scheduled to be here tonight, or he was advertised at least. I swear I saw that somewhere on social media. I'm hoping it just wasn't a troll account, but he wasn't there. He's still off on vacation with his wife. So, hell, we may not ever see that man back. I mean, I don't blame him. SmackDown's been pretty bad, and he may not want anything to do with Road Dogg booking him because they're no telling what. I mean, they'll just bring him back to stare at the title and then lead to nothing for just like it has been for the past year. He'll come back, look at the title, get attacked by somebody, and then he'll spend another 2 months out on vacation. So after that, we had a really good match here between Ilya Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes. This was the Ilya Dragunov United States Open Challenge, and Carmelo Hayes stepped up to the plate here tonight. This was a really fun match. I wasn't a fan of the ending of this match, so I'll pick up towards the end here. All right, let's see here. um, let's see here. All right. All right, Hayes with a knee lift, but Dragunov catches a super kick and hits a German suplex, hanging on to the waist lock, shrugging off rapid fire elbows, rolling into another German, stepping over into overhead elbows. Mello floats with another suplex, trading elbows in the middle of the ring, off the ropes, single knee face breaker with a gets a super kick. Constantine special ducked. Hayes with a springboard elbow and La Mystica. No deal, says this page. Dragunov counters a code breaker with a release spinebuster, fired up, knees up on the H bomb, small package. So Carmelo Hayes is able to get his knees up right there to block the H bomb. Ilya kicks out of the small package. Enziguri back suplex slam. Dragunov up top. Carmelo Hayes comes in for a Enziguri and doesn't quite get it, but the champion slips to the floor anyways. And then this spot right here, Carmelo Hayes did the apron DDT, and when I tell you he spiked Dragunov on that apron. I mean, he went his forehead was the first thing that hit. He legitimately spiked him on the floor here. And there was one point in this match where there was a very loud and noticeable Carmelo Hayes chant. And that was really nice to hear. You can tell that this crowd is finally starting to get behind Carmelo Hayes. So I'm hoping that WWE hears that and they see what this guy has done in his last two matches with Gunther, his last three matches with Bronson Reed, Gunther, and Ilya Dragunov. I am really expecting big things for Carmelo Hayes in 2026. The showing that he's been putting on these last 3 weeks, I'm really hoping he's opening some eyes backstage, and they're finally realizing that they have got something here with Carmelo Hayes. So I do think he captures some gold in 2026. I could very well see it being the United States Championship. I'm hoping that's the case here for Carmelo Hayes. He he deserves it. So after that DDT on the apron, putting Ilya Dragunov into the turnbuckles, referee checks on him. Hayes goes up top, and then Tommaso Ciampa appears out of nowhere, pulls Carmelo Hayes off the top rope. He goes crotch first into the top turnbuckle, and then Ilya Dragunov or the referee didn't see this, so then Carmelo Hayes rolled off the top rope, and Dragunov hits him with the H bomb for the 1, 2, 3, and Ilya Dragunov retains the men's United States Championship. Post match, Ilya Dragunov did actually see the replay where Tommaso Ciampa pretty much helped him win, cost Carmelo Hayes the match, and that pissed Dragunov off. So I wonder if we're ever going to get that match between Dragunov and Tommaso Ciampa. We've got to at some point. I mean, how long are they going to keep this thing on where Tommaso Ciampa wants a shot, but then he just keeps getting cut off? I Here we are again with this story that they just keep playing out week after week after week after week. When just give us the match already. I mean, there's just some things where they drag out for way too long. So after that, we had a match between Alexa Bliss and Kairi Sane. Alexa Bliss won, and then after the match, we had Lash Legend and Nia Jax. They took out Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Kairi Sane, Asuka. Held up the women's tag team championships. They're really trying to make us care about these women's tag team championships now. Um, like I didn't really care for that. I don't want to see Nia Jax and Lash Legend as the women's tag team championships. I don't know. I've gotten to a point where I just really don't care about the women's tag team championships. It's just nothing but makeshift tag teams. And you only have so you've got Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. That's one tag team. The Kabuki Warriors, that's two. Bailey and Lyra, I guess, would make three. Liv and Raquel or Roxanne Raquel would make four. Lash Legend and Nia Jax would make five. I mean, you don't really have a whole lot of women tag teams. You have maybe seven at that. They're trying, I guess, to make. I don't know what they're doing. I guess we're going to get some sort of multi-woman number one contenders match, or they'll have some kind of gauntlet match. Who knows? But oh well. Um, we had Jade Cargill versus Alba Fire. Did anybody care about that match? I didn't pay attention to this match one bit. Jade Cargill won in like 2 minutes. Were we surprised? Oh, apparently Julia ran down there. I didn't even know that. I just read the notes. What are they doing with Julia, man? Like seriously. All right, let's keep going here. Main event time. Oh, before we get into the main event, we are getting a tag team match next week. It'll be Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. So that means the Terror Twins are back together. Rhea Ripley is coming over to SmackDown, which they could use somebody like Rhea Ripley. She's going to help. She's going to be helping Damian Priest in this war against Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. So that should be interesting. I liked the pairing of Dominic. I almost said Dominic. Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. So I'm okay with that. Main event time. You had Gunther versus LA Knight. This was a really good match. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, there were quite a few times in this match where I thought Gunther was actually gonna slip up here and LA Knight was gonna pick up the win. The crowd got really into it at some points, especially there towards the end. So I'll go over some of this match here. I'll pick up after the final commercial break here. All right, trading chops in the middle of the ring. Knight backs Gunther into the corner, putting boots to him, stomping a proverbial mud hole into until referee Jason Ayers warns him off. Charging in, corner hip attack with the Gojira clutch. I think that's how you say it. I can't remember. From the ring general, but LA Knight counters with a back suplex. Huge shotgun drop kick from Gunther. Knight slips out of the power bomb. Snap DDT connects. LA Knight pulls himself up, climbs up to the second rope, off the top, diving elbow drop. Couldn't put Gunther away. Kick to the gut. BFT counter with a German suplex. Stalking after Knight. Standing neck twist. Dragging LA to his feet. Short arm lariat puts him back down. The ring general goes up top. Knight goes up there with him, jockeying for position. Gunther knocks him down and then hits a big splash off the top. Goes back up top with another one. Um, and Knight kicks out. So he kicks out of two splashes from Gunther. Gunther then goes for his power bomb. Still not enough to put LA Knight away. Gunther rolls him up, and then he hit the BFT on Gunther here. The wasn't enough to put Gunther away because Gunther would put his foot on the top rope. And these wrestlers, they have got to have better ring awareness to where you know you're that close to the ropes. It won't hurt you to pull them away just a little bit to, stop that from happening. Uh, so then Gunther puts the sleeper hold back in, falling back with a body scissors. Knight struggling, desperate, rolling, scratching, shaking, clawing, everything he can. He got to his feet, but Gunther cuts him right back off with overhead elbows. He hit like 15 of these just over and over again. Just bam, 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 over and over again, where LA Knight just fell down to his knees. And then he puts the inverted cravate in, and he is just pulling back on Gunther on LA Knight's neck. And they were telling the story where this was something that Gunther was working on throughout the match. So then eventually, LA Knight had no other option but to tap out. And there you have it. Gunther won by submission. And then he had a little message for John Cena after the match. He gets right into the camera with no mic. He says, John Cena, He says he is going to make you tap out at Saturday night's main event. So we'll see. We will see. But that is it for your SmackDown review. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of tonight's SmackDown. It was an okay show. Wasn't great. It wasn't bad. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you guys did enjoy this review. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 500 subscribers. We're only about 15 or so away. I would love to hit that goal by Christmas. So, can we get 15 subscribers in the next 20 days? It's possible. It is possible. Just hit that subscribe button if you are a fan of wrestling content, if you're into reviews for Raw, SmackDown, PLE predictions, previews, reviews. If you're into any of that stuff, then this is the place for you. Come join Wrestling City. Help us make Wrestling City the greatest city in the world for all of your wrestling content. I promise you, you will enjoy your stay here in Wrestling City. But that is about it here. I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care, God bless, and peace.